How about now? We heard the music, just not you. I don't know what's going on with that. I checked the mics before, so we'll put the other mic on. I was keeping it close by. I wasn't planning to use it, but now you guys can hear okay? Hopefully you guys can hear okay. Yep, we hear you. Thank you there, Gary. I appreciate it. I was saying we have a wiring dilemma. Look, I've got wire. It goes on over that way. Some of this wire is good, some is not. Do you know which one is which? I do now. We'll turn up the volume a little bit, Dave. Here we go. How's that? Any better? Check. 1 2 1 2. Can you? Did that help? I'm not sure what's going on with the sound tonight. You know, you never know if there was if too too loud, Dave. Okay, turn it down. Okay, I'll turn it down. How's that? How are we doing? I don't have a way to check the mics once I've actually entered the live. So, oh, good. Okay, we got it good. All right, thank you there, Ms. Pearl. I appreciate it. Let's say hi to everybody out there. Welcome to Happy Hour Live. Oh, let's go on down the list. Hey, Bill, X fired up right there. Cracker Box. Why do I have problems? Cracker Box Palace. I have problems with that name. There we go. We got it. But he got first in the house. Right behind him is Don. There he is. Glad to have you. Cowboy Biker Adventures. RV Living Life. Saying, hey, kids. Right there. That is Mr. Gary. And I don't know if that's Miss Carol or not. Sometimes it's Gary. Sometimes it's both. You never know. WCRV Adventures, that's Wayne and Carrie. Everybody say hi to them. Ms. Pearl is in the house. We're working. I saw next exit. There's Bob. There's Bob right there. So I hope he's not prepared to ask Dr. Prepare for his money back. The batteries. No, I'm not. And I will say, I was thinking last week, we've come up on a year that I've been using the Dr. Prepare batteries. Folks, I'm here to tell you they have performed flawlessly. I've not had problems with that. Moreover, I've had problems right here with my own with my own mistakes and putting everything together. But you know, I offer this out there because if anybody's out there thinking about doing solar in the near future, it's good information. We're going to talk about it tonight. I am not an expert. Do not get electrocuted playing with power. But there you go. I am fixing my own problems here that I believe that I created about a year ago. So, I'm working on now. Miss Jennifer LaForte is in the house. Hello, Miss Jennifer. I was thinking about putting on my cowboy hat. I've got my oh my gosh, look at that. I'm looking like I am very sorry. I am very sorry. There we go. There. Are we? Guys, would you notice it's a long sleeve shirt? Just saying it's a long sleeve shirt. It feels fantastic here. At 5:30, I literally pulled up the community post because I was going to cancel the live tonight. I don't know if you can see those skies up there. It was raining. And I thought there's no way I can do this. I can't do that. But just as I'm getting ready to type in, hey, we're going to have to cancel it, it stopped raining. I'm going to take it. We'll take it for what it is. And we're going to hope that we can get through the whole hour here and not. If I have to leave, I apologize to Gary because I know Gary, paid full rate to get in. And Gary, I'm sorry if I will refund your admission fee. Is that fair? That's fair. Cosmic Mermaid and Starman are in the house. Glad to have you guys here. And Matthew Renaud is in the house. Okay, let's see if we can't get a market shares in the house. Hey, he is down there in Phoenix. Hopefully you're not roasting down there. But so far up here, I'm happy. Guys, you know what? I've been thinking about leaving. And how do you leave this? Because everywhere that I look to go to next is 101 degrees, and I'm literally wearing a long sleeve shirt right now. So, Miss Laura WG Arts is here. Hag of the Hills, that's Miss Sarah there in Quartzsite. Glad to see you here. All right. Guys, let's see if I can get down to the new comments. If you put out a question there, definitely put it out again, because I'm just going to move right. Radar shows you're clear for an hour. Thank you there, Marcus Chair. Appreciate it. Yeah, only 106 today in Q. Yeah, guys, I totally get it. I totally get it. Yeah. Where is that? I'm sorry. There we go. I pay for a full hour every week. I understand that, Gary. Check is in the mail. If we have to cut this short, the check will be in the mail. So Jim Bertrand is in the house, saying hi there to Dawn and Jennifer. Glad to have you here, Jim. He's been kicking out some stuff on his Instagram there, and he's got some serious gardening. He's got a serious green thumb going on up there. Good on you, Jim. I've been kind of watching what you're kicking out there, and looks fantastic. Ooh, there you go. There you go. Right there. That is a good reason to be on the Oregon coast right now. If you don't know where Newport is, that is Newport, Oregon, and I just love it there. So Don says he's got 70. I don't know what it is here, guys, but there was just enough chill, and with the rain, I need to put on a long sleeve shirt. So all right. So last we met, and last week we had headed off, and oh wait, you caught my attention, Dave. Just Dave. That's all. What? Yeah. Gary. Oh, store credit for Gary. Store credit for Gary. There you go. We'll work on that. Desert Gypsy, that's Miss Bonnie right there, sporting 94 degrees. Hopefully you are inside, hon. That is too hot, even to no. Although when it's 115, I'll take 94. Glad to have you here. Anyway, that's all right. So last I left you. Okay, so just to answer real quick, because I want to emphasize. The batteries, the Dr. Prepare batteries, have been and are flawless. They have been working well, and I plan on figuring out a way to pull at least one of those batteries out. I'll probably pull the test battery out that Bob tested before we actually installed them on the coach 1 year ago, almost to the day. I think we're really close. This time last year, we were installing those over there on the Oregon coast, and they have been working flawlessly. Now, what I've been doing for the last year is making sure that all of my wiring, my controllers, everything was doing what it was. And I have made some changes, some updates, but for a long time there, and probably went for better than half the year, everything was right. Everything was happy. It was okay. And then last week happened. Last week, for whatever reason, got up Monday morning and we had a problem. That problem was my batteries were dead. Couldn't understand why. I hadn't had a problem for the last 6 months. Why are the batteries dead? I start looking into it, and I don't have it around here, unfortunately. But and here's one little one. This is a solar connector that was up on the roof, and it was melted. It was, and that was part of why that was melted, and that was concerning. I got down into the battery bay and found the negative line in two places was pretty melted. I mean, to the point where it was fraying out, and it was pretty well done. Now, folks, I don't think that this was hugely a fire problem or something to be concerned about with fire, but anytime that you see a melted wire, obviously there is some thought to that. But I was not seeing the bulk of the wire that goes through the coach and up to the roof. I wasn't seeing any problem that it was happening. What I found was melted connections at a butt connection that I had made, and one of the, basically where it took off from the roof coming down behind the refrigerator and going out to my charge controller. Interesting thing and confusing thing was it was not the red wire. It was not. This isn't actually. This is what I just took off the coach, and I'm still working on that. This is not melted, but this did come off the coach. You can see that it's in good shape. There's no problems there. And it was the ground wire. Now, why did the ground wire, why was that melted? The red wire was doing fine. There was no problem with that. I had to actually look at what was going on here. Did I not have fuses on the solar feeds? I do. I have 60 amp breakers that go, that the positive line goes down from the solar into the breaker, and then from the breaker, the 60 amp breaker, to the charge controller. The negative line was not. The negative line does not have a breaker on it. And near as I have read, you don't really need a breaker on your negative line. So, but good question, Jim. And again, why the negative line? Why my negative feed melting? I had to Google. I had to do a little bit of research on, and there's a few possible things. One of them I know is absolute, that there was a bad connection. And anytime there is a bad connection, there's going to be vibration in that connection if it's not a tight and strong connection. And that vibration is going to cause heat. And indeed, from the butt connection that I made, it literally right there in the battery box, I just needed another 2 or 3 feet to get to my charge controller. That I needed that added on to the wire that I had installed, and at that butt connection, it was, that's where the problem was. 6 inches in each direction of that butt connection, the wires were melted, and indeed finally did completely cut off. To test the wiring, I had no power coming through. What's more is, up at the top of the roof, I was plugged in to this line coming down, and that same negative line at that connection, it was a regular solar connector that was up on top, had melted. That's actually not the one. That's actually a good one. I don't know where my melty one was, but just take my word for it. This is actually part of it. I had to break it apart to get it apart. Yeah, it was about 6 inches of that. Now, the other thing that they talked about, too much amperage. Yeah, that's what I thought too. Now, the funny thing is, too much amperage. I use high voltage, low amperage solar panels, or 80 volt. Yeah. it is 1,000 watts coming down from the roof. Now, while that does sound like a lot, typically on the average day, I'm getting about 35 amps coming down from the roof. Now, what it translates out to the batteries is pretty close to 55 amps. But given the voltage and the amperage that the solar panels up on top are kicking out, I have higher voltage, which means lower amperage, and means that I'm okay using these. It typically is about 35 amps. This wire is 8 or 8 gauge wire and should easily handle up to 55 amps. And in no way was this, but I'm getting to that. I know, because I did look at that. There's too much amperage coming down. Better to use Enders. I don't know what that is. So what is going on? Why? And I thought, well, you know what? I've got extra wire. We can just go ahead and replace those sections that's melted. I can read up on it and find out what happened. And I ended up, Anderson, the SAE connectors. Yeah, MC4 are only good for 30 amps. I didn't know that, Jim. I didn't know that, but the MC4s are what I do have up on the roof and connecting on down. So I will look into that and see. I hadn't heard that. Typically, though, at max, the most that I have coming down from the roof is 35 amps. So that possibly could be. I appreciate the input. When Bob and I were setting this up, and he said, you know, I've got a deal. We can install some batteries. We have to do a review. I started buying everything that I needed, and there's no shortage of things that you need when you're swapping over from lead acid to you know, the lithium battery packs. So I tried to buy everything and have it ready so that we could install everything in the matter of a couple days, which we did do. So bad connections. Yeah, bad connections can cause heat and failure. Just had a similar loose connection problem with the bus bar. Had a bad connection on it. Yeah, and that's exactly what I'm thinking. That butt connection and that last 2 feet of this connection going to the red wire actually went to the breaker, and then went from the breaker over to the charge controller. This one, however, had a butt connector and just went straight to the charge controller. So if any of them were going to melt, I would have assumed that it would have been this, not the negative side. So that was what kind of confused me. I ended up researching and doing a little bit of looking into the type of wire that I did purchase for this. And while it was 8 gauge wire, and it did say in the description, great for solar, great for blah, 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 blah. This is what concerned me. High performance speaker wire. Okay. Well, I'm going to admit it, guys. You know what? They said it was okay for solar. I don't think it's okay for solar. I'm just going to put that out there. I really don't think it is, because I just spent this week replacing all of that wire and dragging it through. And I'll show you. Let me see if I can get this back up here. And this wire is what I replaced all of that with. It's nice, firm wire. It is from a solar company, a well-known solar company. I'm not going to give them a plug here, but it is from a well-known solar company on Amazon. Lots of reviews, and this is what they do. They don't sell speaker wire. They don't sell speaker wire that would also work great for solar. They sell solar wire, and I can feel when I held that, I can feel the difference. This stuff, this is okay. It goes great. You can pull it great. You can get it through the coach and get it to where it's going. This much stiffer. It's much stiffer. It's also, looking at the ends of it, more solid as far as the core, the windings inside. Just you could tell the difference between the two. And I know what I did, or what I think that I did, is I just used cheap wire, and this wire was about $75 for what I needed. This wire was about 105, 110, I think. I just bought it. I don't remember right offhand, though. I just figured, you know what, we're going to replace that and get it gone. So I had to find loose connections by checking both sides, every connection with a meter. Yeah, lower side of the connection than the other. And yeah, that's, I'm sure had I done that, but I wasn't seeing a problem. I wasn't, I've been using this for almost a year, and I haven't seen a problem, and I hadn't had a problem up until, like I said, Monday. I thought, there's no reason why the battery should be dead. Why are we having battery issues? And for the first time in a long time, I ended up having to run the generator, and I've pretty much had to run the generator a couple hours every day this week. There is a second system on top of the roof that does have this same wire, but it's a 500-watt system, and I think that it will be okay. But I am going to keep my eye on that, and we will see. So yeah, I did not think about checking the on each side of those connectors. I did not think that a butt connector might cause a problem, especially the way that I do them. They are wrapped. They are crimped. They are wrapped. They're waterproof. There's, you guys have I've gone over that. I generally pride myself on making a good connection with the solar, and so there was not the thought of that. But obviously, because of the melted wire on both sides of that butt connection, on the negative line only, no, there obviously I did not have that one right. So there you go. But solar should work better now. Yeah, I'm guessing so. I do have it temporarily hooked up because I had to go. I went out today, and I needed to find some of the end ring terminals to put on these. And guys, I spent better part of today driving from store to store. Do you know Flagstaff, Arizona does not have a decent hardware store? Does not have a decent hardware store. No matter where I went, I could not find the little copper lugs that you crimp onto the end and seal on. The ones that I really like, I have little ring terminals that I can crimp on and it'll be fine. But yeah, no, I want the good copper lugs. That's, this is carrying a lot of power, and I want to make sure that it gets from point A to point B without any problems. And the little crimpy eyelets, I'm not a big fan of. So I went out today trying to find those copper lugs. I do have the big crimpers for putting those on, and 4 stores and even lunch in between. I ended up at Habit Burger. I've never been to Habit Burger, and I can recommend. First time ever going through there, I thought, you know what, I'm getting hangry here. I'm getting hangry. I do that when I'm frustrated and I'm hungry. I get hangry. So hangry is a thing. I ended up at Habit Burger. Just went through the drive-through. Actually, a great burger I can recommend. So something different. I am not a big fan of the McDonald King burgers. No, I generally will stay away from them. My problem is when the what was that now? My problem was when the inverter was kicking out when charging, and I could not figure out why, but I knew something was wrong. Yeah, obviously. I'd be interested to talk to you more about that, Gary, because that I notice every now little problems here and there, and I'd be interested in hearing more about that, just so I know what to check and where to check it. But where you're driving up and where you're at now, you must have jarred that connection. Well, I've been all over from the Oregon coast all the way down to here right now. And the most stress that I have been under has been sitting at an RV park in Mesa, Arizona, roasting and cooking. And so actually the ride in here was not bad, but I am not afraid of going into some of those remote areas. I do have a 5-mile gravel road limit now, though, and I'm trying to abide by that, because the last time that I did about 30 miles of it, it was too much damage. It was too much. I'm just going to have to watch that now. If it's any more than 5 miles, it better be worth it. Yeah, not a rough road, a gravel road. A rough road, probably 2-mile limit. No. But no, as far as getting in here and where I've been going, I'm thinking of where I've been in the last year. And some of that's been with you, Don. I don't think we have run into all that much as far as off-roading and getting into boondocking locations. So yeah, we do. We take our rigs into places most RVs don't ever see. You're absolutely right. I'm not afraid to drive this off into the middle of nowhere. That's kind of where I'm at right now. But yeah, we still, I can think of one place that I kind of cringe when I think about having to go in there. And I haven't been there this year. So, oh my gosh. So how is everybody else doing out there? That is kind of what I've been working on this week, slowly but surely. It went from a small little wiring problem and thinking I could just replace that little bit to I am not convinced. That's the other thing that I found online, is they said using cheap Chinese wire is potentially going to cause you problems down the road. And I think that's exactly what I've run into. So I think if it was less power, it'd probably be okay. But if you're pushing the limits of the wire itself, not okay. I wish that I would have spent the extra, 30, 40, 50 bucks and got the actual solar wire that I should have in the beginning. So word to the wise, if you're thinking about doing this, spend the extra money and get the good stuff. Get the good stuff. It is. Thank you, Ms. Pearl. I was actually running on solar today, and we have it back up and running. I still have some things that I need to do, so it is just hooked up and functioning right now. But I needed those eyelets, and that was today's task, was to go into town and see if I could find them So I did find them. I found them at a Napa, by the way, and Napa has been real good for those hard to find crimp connections that I needed back on the coast back a year ago with you guys, and I needed today, and they had them. So real happy about that. I can tell you that Home Depot doesn't have them. AutoZone doesn't have them. I know Ace and True Value Hardware have them, but there is no Ace or True Value Hardware here in Flagstaff. There really isn't a decent hardware store other than Home Depot in Flagstaff. I found that out today. But Napa, give them credit because it seems like they are always pulling my butt out of a sling, and I appreciated them for that. That's why I like going to Napa and making that happen. Oh, O'Reilly's too. I went to O'Reilly. Now, I get parts from O'Reilly. I get parts from all of them, so I don't mind saying that, I get a lot of parts from them. But, when it really comes to getting you out of trouble, Napa has always come through. So that probably should tell me something. It's hard for me to learn. Currently lot docking at a marina in Northern Ontario. They had $20 a night, and they made us a level spot with fresh gravel to park for the week. That's fantastic. $20 is not bad. Guys, have you noticed? I just looked up a KOA not too far away, going up into Utah, and I thought, well, if I'm going to go up there and it's going to be hot, I'm going to need to plug in and run my AC. $105 a night. Is it just me, or does that just seem outrageous? I don't know. I don't know. $20 a night? Yeah, I do $20 a night. That's a pretty decent deal. Oh yeah, some of those parks. Yeah, some of those parts you got to think about that when you're in. I thought about that here where I'm at. There is no gravel roads, guys. If you could see where, just hold it up there. There are no gravel roads. There's no pavement. There's no asphalt. And somebody did mention on Campendium about the place that if it rains real hard for a couple of days, watch out, because you're gonna have, if you need to get out, there might be a little bit of trouble. Now, I've been fat, dumb, and happy. I'm just going to admit it. Fat, dumb, and happy. It has been cool. It is hard for me to leave this place right now, but my water reserves are getting down there, and at some point I'm going to have to. And where do I go? I don't know. But yes, think about that. If you are a boondocker, you go into some of these places. If you got rain coming, you got to think about getting out, or you got to think about just committing to staying until everything dries out. I ran into that problem in Kansas one time a few years ago, and we were all the way over on the other side of the lake. And that was actually, if you've watched the videos and been with us for a while, that was when we had the tornado and the tornado scare. And that road going out went all the way around the lake. And as hard as it rained and for as long as it rained, we decided that we were staying put right there, because trying to get out of that place, it wasn't going to happen. It wasn't. Why did we know this? Because we could see other people trying to get out. We drove on it, a pickup truck in 4-wheel drive, just to go to town, and it was scary. It would just stay right there. You almost have to commit to saying, if we get those kind of rains, we're just going to stay put where we're at. So, don't ever. Yeah, still trying, Bob. Still trying. Planning to go to Utah. I am looking very hard at Capitol Reef and thinking in the next couple days to head up that way. Generally, the temperatures have been pretty decent up there. However, I looked at it today. Apparently, today was a heat wave because instead of the 90 degrees that I've been seeing, it was 101. And I thought, you got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. I will say next on number 2 on my list is Gunnison, Colorado at whopping 86 degrees. And that sounds right. That sounds okay. So don't ever trust the KOA electricity. Yeah, I do have a surge protector on the coach and I'm not afraid to use it. So 180. Wow, 180. Yeah, yes and no. That's I am assuming the KOA 105 per night does include water and sewer, but it still seems insane. Now the 180 for 6 months out there, that's at the LTVA, and that is a pretty decent deal. And a lot of people take advantage of that out at the Quartzsite and they have all the LTVAs down there. And so I think there's 6 or 7 of them. Once you've paid for a year, you get that whole year. You can go to the LTVAs for free. So that is actually a great deal. Something I haven't done, but I know a lot of people have. 20 Canadian. Oh, 20. Is that? No, that's not right. That's not right, Carrie. 20 Canadian, about $6 US dollars. No. Oh, you'd love to be reined in. I have been loving it here. I am telling you, Miss Bonnie, I have been loving it here. Actually, we've been talking on the phone. You know that. I would love to be here, and I have been. It is hard for me to think about leaving. I'm down to half a tank of water. I am going to be. How do I word this? I'm going to be right at my 14 days. Yep. That's all I'm going to say about that. So, wow, Gary. Yeah, there's been the Gary exchange rate is a little different. Yeah, the Q is very affordable, Miss Sarah. I don't disagree with you there. So, 100 a night. Yeah, Life with Lenny. I'm right with you there, Lenny. 100 a night. They need to come over and make breakfast or something. I don't know. I don't know. We heard there are new water and dump stations at LTVA and Quartzsite. That's news to me. I haven't heard that. Have used them several times, but no, I'm not sure. So that's not a bad setup that they already had. The water station where you take on water, it can take at least a few rigs, if not more. The dump station, I think, is 3 rigs or 4 rigs wide. It just seems like I'm remembering that it's at least 2 rigs wide. And while there is a line there, depending on which day you try to go to the dump station, it's not bad. It's not bad. If they've upgraded that and put in new ones, that'll be interesting to see. Oh my gosh. All right. The mosquitoes, I will say, the rain and so forth brings out the mosquitoes. So there we go. We'll just do a little. Don't mind me. I'll put on a commercial here while we there. Yeah, I'm swatting at the mosquitoes. All right. Yeah. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Okay, I have guys, are these ads just driving you nuts? I have an ad that popped up in front of my comment screen and now I can't get rid of the darn thing. Where is it? There it is. Oh, the little X is hidden. Ugh. All right, I'm back. I'm back. You should get more than a massage. Well, that depends on what you've worked out with the salesman. I don't know. No, I am here to tell you. It seems like all of the parks, everywhere that I'm looking at, the price is really going up, and it's not unusual now as I check parks, even the state parks and the national parks have all gone up at least $10, if not more, is generally what I'm seeing out there. But I am shocked to see a KOA and some of these that I think that is just, I don't understand. But people are paying it. I see the reviews on Campendium, and people are happy for the most part. I mean, they may at 100 and whatever dollars per night, believe me, if there was a problem, they'd be mentioning it. And they seem to be pretty happy with it. But to me, that just seems crazy. I don't know. Really, Don? Oh my gosh. Oh, so where am I going? I've been asked that so many times now, and it's funny because I had a big plan. I had plans when I originally was leaving the Southwest, and those plans kind of melted in Phoenix, and yeah, I I am having a hard time wanting to leave here. I'm just gonna say, I'm just having a hard time. I have been getting a lot of projects done. I am thinking about taking the truck has been running great, and I am absolutely tickled with it. I really am, guys. I am so happy to have the new truck, and it is a great addition. I am honestly thinking about maybe taking a trip to Winslow or someplace like that, just in the truck, go out for a day, because I want to stand on a corner in Winslow, Arizona. I really do. It's Eagles. So sue me. Speaking of, speaking of, are Tom and Lori? Are they in the house? Are they in the house? We had. Oh my gosh, we had a video that we did. We did a live at the movie theater. It was at least a couple years ago, and we did a little skit at the end where we sat and went and watched um, watched a movie on the drive-in movie theater. Do you guys remember that? If you remember that, good on you. You've been watching for a while. We're here. There's Miss Lori right there. I'm sure she is whining and dining Mr. Tom. Hopefully he is doing better and not driving you nuts, Lori. Glad it was good seeing you guys Saturday. But I will say, do you remember that little skit that we did? And it was a lot of fun, but we basically turned the chairs around after the live and watched a movie on the movie screen. That was how many years ago? Do you know I just got a copyright notification on that video? It's been a couple years, and they said, even though it was alive, the copyright infringement was embedded in, I don't know, they used their terms. I don't know what it is. Basically, it was within the live itself. And they didn't say I had to take it down. So I'm really hoping that I don't get in any more trouble. But that was so many years ago that I just absolutely cracked up laughing when I saw that. And I don't know how they found that or why they would find that after a couple of years, but they sure did. So you got to be careful as a YouTuber putting video in to your videos from outside sources. I've kind of stopped the practice because I've gotten slapped on the wrist a few times. Just saying, I've gotten slapped on the wrist a few times. So yeah, ridiculous. Oh, but it was a fun video. It was absolutely a fun video. That was a fun live. And I am not going to take it down unless they say you have to take it down. So we will see. But there you go. Hey, Lori, did you take Tom's bell away yet? I hope you're doing okay, Tom, and glad to see that that you were up and ready for the live. Although, did you guys notice Tom wasn't wearing any pants? Did you notice? I noticed. Is it just me? I noticed. Good on you, Tom. Good on you. He was relaxed. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, little nostalgia. You know what it did cause me? It caused me to go back and watch that video because it cracked me up so much that they, even a couple of years later, they found it in there, and so far not slapped on the wrist, but apparently somebody else is getting my 2 cents for literally 2 cents for that video. So good on them. Good on them. Yeah. What else is going on? Are you guys ready? It is almost the end of July, and we have the next one. Let's see. The next one will be next Sunday, will be the 30th, and that will be our open mic night. I have had a couple of people contact me and reach out to me, including, saying, I'm having trouble getting my channel to lift off to go to do something. And it's like, and you came to me? Really? And you came to me? So yeah, no, you are welcome to come here on the live. Next week we will have the open mic night. We do it the last Sunday, every Sunday, every last Sunday of the month. And next Sunday will be the last Sunday. What are you guys talking about? Wait a minute. Save the children. Wait, what? Save the children. Tom and Dave, put your pants back on. Hey, it's not just us, it's Bob too. But Bob, yeah. No, I know. It wasn't a robe. He was wearing his hospital gown, which good on you. They usually make me give those things back. I don't know how you made it out of there, but I do know the back is usually open. How did you make it from to the car, and then from the car to? I'll let you use your imagination. But somehow Tom managed to make it out of there. So the hospital is going to call you and say, "Hey, you weren't supposed to take that." And we'll see. We'll see. The original bad boy. Oh. Hey, we include you in with that, Bob, because we have been with you in Mexico. Don't forget. So yeah, you don't get off scot-free. You don't get off scot-free. Oh. All right, guys. I think we are going to wrap this one up. Do not, again, what's the lesson? This is our show and tell today. What's it? Let me see if I can find it there. Do not use high performance, where is it? Speaker wire for your solar. Don't be cheap. Spend the extra money and buy regular solar wire. Otherwise, you'll be like me and you have to do it all over again. And yesterday I had to shower off, and I know my gray tank will never be the same. I don't know how you actually clean out a gray tank. But I know there was enough dirt that went down that shower drain. I was covered. It was that I'll spare you the details. All right, guys, don't be a Dave. Yeah, there you go. Don't be cheap. Don't be a Dave. All right. There are some things you should spend the money on. Obviously, wire is one of those. X fired up. I see. He's right there. Gary, I'm sorry. We are going to be 6 minutes or so. I will prorate your refund. So Hi-Fi Solar. I like that right there. Hi-Fi Solar. All right, guys, let's wrap this one up. X fired up gets last in the house. Less Lenny, the hot tubs are not clothing optional. Wait, what? Happy 3. There it is right there. There it is. You see that? I'm sorry. you Gary, you get what you pay for. All right. Oh my gosh, you guys are all great. I love you guys all. I am going to go back and give X fired up. That is Bill right there. Hello. Let's try that again. Take care all. Safe travels. Good night. Live life full time. We will see you guys next week. I think I have to leave here. My 14 days is running out. That's all I'm going to say. Good night, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye. Yeah.